Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today's video is going to be a bit of a sad one actually, because today I'm going to be sharing with you guys my entire Becca collection. So as you might know, this month in September, unfortunately Becca Cosmetics has shut their doors and has now been completely discontinued as a brand. But I thought today, as one final hurrah to the brand, I would sit down here and share with you guys every single product I own from Becca Cosmetics. So if you're curious to see all the products, then just continue watching. Okay, so starting off, I actually have 3 of this particular brush. They're 3 different versions. This is called the One Perfecting brush, so I'll show you what this looks like. So here is what the brush looks like. As you can see, I've got 3 different colors. It's kind of this really dense, flat, squished kabuki style that's really long. I actually used these 2 in the full face of Becca Cosmetics. I used one for each different foundation, and I actually really enjoyed it for that process. I thought it might be a little bit kind of awkward to kind of get around the nose, underneath the nose, the center of the forehead. I thought it would just generally be a little bit too big, but I actually have been really enjoying these, so I'm glad that I have these. The next thing that I own from Becca is actually this little kit right here. This is the Becca Wake Up Call kit, and as you can see, it's got 2 different products. It's got the First Light Priming Filter and the Shimmering Skin Perfector Spotlight in the shade Moonstone. The next thing that I have from Becca, I actually haven't tried yet. This is the Becca Luminous Body Perfecting Mousse in the shade Palm Beach. So I think let's go right ahead and actually swatch her because I haven't tried her yet. It comes in a massive squeezy tube. That's what the shade looks like on the back of my hand. And then when you blend it in, it's actually very smooth, very mousse-like. And once it's kind of settled into the skin, it's got a little bit more of a satin matte finish as well. So that's what it looks like all over my hand. It's quite pigmented, but I feel like, once again, a little bit goes such a long way with body products normally. So, that looks quite nice, especially for the legs. I feel like I'll get some good use out of that. So moving on to foundation, the 2 foundations that I own from Becca are these 2 right here. The first one is actually the one that I'm wearing on my skin right now. This is the Becca Aqua Luminous Perfecting Foundation in the shade Light. As you can see, it's got really beautiful light to medium coverage with a soft kind of satin glow. I have powdered, but it really depends on what I wear under and over it. That will determine how long this will wear, but on average I find that I get between 5 and 6 hours of wear on this one. So for my shorter makeup days, I've really been loving this. And then the second one that I have here is the Becca Ever Matte Shine Proof Foundation in the shade Olive. This one I'm a little bit on the fence about because I found that it was a little bit thick and it oxidized quite a bit. I would say it maybe lasted a little bit longer than this one did, but I'll be honest, I don't think I love it, mainly because it was separating and getting a little bit patchy and just didn't wear the best. So those are the 2 foundations that I own. So moving on to under eye products that I own, these 2 right here are actually underneath my eyes right now. So I started off with the Becca Under Eye Brightening Corrector in the shade Light to Medium, and the concealer that I'm wearing is the Becca Ultimate Coverage Longwear Concealer in the shade Linen. So I'll actually open these both up so you can see the colors. So starting off with the Becca Under Eye Brightener, I was so excited to try this. It looks like this. This is the lighter one. As you can see, it's more of a pinky salmon tone. I'm pretty sure the darker one was more of an orangey peach, but this is the one that I picked up. It's actually a really nice corrector. I'd say if anything, it's a little bit thick and a little bit sticky, but I feel like it really does the job of brightening. It's quite bright underneath the eyes. So far, so good. I will continue to use this, but as you can see, I haven't used it too many times yet. And then on top of the corrector, I'm wearing this concealer. So you can see in comparison to the box, it's actually really bright. But as you can see, it doesn't look too bright once I've got all my makeup on. I actually really enjoy the brightness underneath the eyes and how well it conceals. But if anything, I'd say it's quite thick and once again, a little bit sticky underneath the eyes. But I definitely will get some really good use out of it, especially because I really enjoy the way that this concealer wears, especially with the powder that I'll show you next. So speaking of powder, I picked up 2 of this powder right here. This is the Becca Hydra Mist Satin Refresh powder. It is such a unique powder. I've never felt anything like this on my skin before. It feels kind of wet. It's almost as though, you know when you wet a brush and then maybe you've partially dried it but you didn't have time to dry it all the way. So when you put powder on your skin, it feels a little bit damp. That's exactly what this powder feels like. It is the most unique experience. I had a bit of a feeling that's what it was about because I saw a couple of thumbnails when I was first picking up this product so I got excited and I picked up a backup even without trying it. So that's why I have 2 of these, but I've got to say I actually really enjoy this powder. It's a little bit more of a thinner kind of texture than I'm used to. I feel like in comparison to like the Laura Mercier, it's very, very finely milled, but because of the experience alone, I'm so excited to have a backup, and I wish you guys could try something like it because it's the most unique experience you'll ever have. So the next product that I own is another body product. This is the Becca Glow Body Stick in the shade Champagne Pop. I once again haven't tried this one either, so I thought let's give it a bit of a swatch. Oh my goodness. This thing is massive. What are you going to do with a body product that large? Honestly, I was expecting it to be like maybe yay big and like half the width of that. That is ridiculous. That is huge. Oh my goodness. I want to swatch her just to see what she looks like. It's actually not very glowy, is it? Hold on. Let me build her up. I feel like it's actually a little bit more glittery on my hand than you can see. Maybe if I kind of blend her out. Do you see a big difference? I feel like it's really subtle. I feel like in real life I can see there's like a stack of glitters in it, but for some reason on camera it's not even showing very reflective. So not sure about that product. I mean, to be honest, like 42 grams of product is actually in this. I feel like I can't get over that. That is a lot of product. The next 2 products that I own from Becca are actually the Shimmering Skin Perfector liquids. The first one is Champagne Pop and this one here is Prosecco Pop, so I'll go right ahead and swatch them both. So the packaging looks like this. This one here is Champagne Pop. As you can see, it's a really pretty light champagne. It comes with a pump as well. So I'm going to go right ahead and pump her out. So here are the 2 shades. This one is Champagne Pop. And then this one is Prosecco Pop. So Prosecco Pop is a little bit more golden yellow, and then Champagne Pop is a little bit more champagne pink. The next thing that I own from the Champagne Pop collection is the Shimmering Skin Perfector Slim Light in the shade Champagne Pop. I also forgot to show you guys earlier, a lot of these are actually a collaboration with Jaclyn Hill. So as you can see, her photos on the back of these. So I'll swatch the Champagne Pop in the Slim Light. So here is what the packaging looks like. As you can see, it's a little eye baton. So it's a wind up kind of crayon shape. So I might just pop a little bit on the inside of my inner corner so you can see what it looks like. Oh yeah, that's really pretty, and then I'll swatch it for you as well. It's actually a really pretty like champagne neutral tone. So the next thing that I have is this palette right here. This is the Becca Afterglow palette. The packaging looks like this. As you can see, it's a brownie rose gold mauve palette. And then on the inside of the palette, there's 5 different products. So you've got Moonstone, Rose Gold, Topaz, Wild Honey, and Flower Child blush. The next thing that I own is a cheek palette. It looks like this. I'm actually wearing all 3 products on my cheeks today. So the bronzer that I'm wearing, the blush that I'm wearing, and the highlight are all from this palette. This is called the Sun Chaser palette. So here is what the inside of the palette looks like. So the bronzer is called Ipanema Sunset. The blush is called Apricot Blossom. And the highlighter is in the shade Opal. And then the second cheek trio that I have is a blush palette. This is called the Becca Blush with Light palette, and it comes with 3 different tones. The outside packaging to this palette is so pretty. It looks like that. And then the 3 blushes look like this. So you've got the shades Wisteria, Songbird, and Snapdragon. So next I actually have 2 of the Jaclyn Hill and Becca Cosmetics palette. These are called the Champagne Collection Face Palettes. So here is what the inside of the palette looks like. So you've got Rosé Spritz, Amaretto, and Pamplemousse blush. And then down the bottom you've got Champagne Pop and Prosecco Pop highlighter as well. So here is what the palette looks like. The next palette that I picked up is also a collaboration palette. This is called the Becca and Chrissy Teigen Glow Face palette. The palette itself looks like this. It is so pretty. I love that kind of marble-esque vibe. And then the inside of the palette looks like this. So the highlight up the top is called Rose Gold. The blush right here is called Hibiscus Bloom. The highlight down here is called Beach Nectar. And then the last bronzer right here is called Malibu Soleil. So you can see this palette is so pretty. And I just noticed on the inside there's a sample packet of the First Light Priming Filter. The next two things that I picked up look like this. I'm going to try not to blind you with the packaging. These are the Becca Apres Ski Glow Collection Eye Lights palette. The inside of the palette looks like this, so you can see it's got all 7 of the Shimmering Skin Perfector shades. These ones are just smaller packaging, so they work well for the eyes. So from that same collection, I also picked up these two right here. I actually haven't tried these yet, but these are the Apres Ski Glow Face palettes. The outside of the packaging is so pretty. It reminds me of like frosted ice. And then the inside of the palette looks like this. So you can see you've got a bronzer, 2 blushes, and 3 highlights. So next I picked up both of the Chloe and Malika BFF Bronze Blush and Glow palettes. So starting off with the gold palette, this is the Made with Love by Chloe palette. On the inside you can see you've got a highlighter, 2 blushes, and a bronzer. And then moving on to the silver palette, this is the Made with Love by Malika palette. This one once again has a highlight, 2 blushes, and a bronzer in a darker shade. So the next product that I picked up is a loose highlighter. This is the Glow Dust highlighter in the shade Champagne Pop. Here is what it comes packaged like. It is massive. This thing is huge. I'm curious to know how much is in here. It says 15 grams of product, and then you can see it's actually a little bit of a darker tone compared to the rest of the Champagne Pop collection. So the next product that I actually have 4 different shades of. This is the Shimmering Skin Perfector Poured, so I'll show you what they all look like. So here is the first one in the shade Pearl. Here is the second one in the shade Champagne Pop. I thought I'd show you the box because this one is a collaboration with Jaclyn Hill. But as you can see, it's a really beautiful champagne color. The next one that I have is called Prosecco Pop, so it's a slightly darker gold. And then the last one that I own is called Topaz, so you can see it's a much darker bronze. The next things that I picked up are also part of the Becca and Jaclyn Hill collab. These are called the Champagne Split, so I think I actually missed one of them. So the shades that I have are Prosecco Pop and Amaretto, Champagne Pop and Hyacinth, and Prosecco Pop and Pamplemousse. So I'll show you what they look like. So here is the first one in Prosecco Pop and Amaretto. Here is the second one in Champagne Pop and Hyacinth. And then here is the third one in Prosecco Pop and Pamplemousse. The next product that I picked up all 4 shades of. This is the Light Chaser Highlighter for face and eye. I have the shades Pearl Flashes Gold, Champagne Dream Flashes Bellini, Rose Quartz Flashes Seashell, and Opal Flashes Jade. But once again, one of them came broken, so I actually have a backup of the shade Champagne Dream Flashes Bellini. So here is the first one in the shade Pearl Flashes Gold. Here is the second one in the shade Champagne Dream Flashes Bellini. The third one I have here is Rose Quartz Flashes Seashell. The last one I have here I had to swatch for you guys because it's such a weird color. This one is once again called Opal Flashes Jade. It is such a unique color because you can see it's got a little bit of that bronzy green shift. So moving on to Becca's most popular product, these are the Becca Shimmery Skin Perfector Pressed. I actually own a lot of different shades, but the first ones that I have here are all the minis. Unfortunately, one of these is actually shattered, so I actually have a backup of Vanilla Quartz, so I'll show you that one in a second because this one is actually shattered. But the first one that I have to show you guys is called Moonstone. So here is what Moonstone looks like. As you can see, it's a really beautiful, lighter version of Champagne Pop. And then the other shade that I have in a mini, once again, I've got this one here that broke upon arrival, is the shade Vanilla Quartz. As you can see, it's kind of like a white, light champagne with a gold reflect. And then on top of that, I also picked up another 9 shades of the Shimmering Skin Perfector Pressed. So I've got the shades Opal, Champagne Gold, Blushed Copper, Lilac Geode, Prismatic Amethyst, Champagne Pop, Parisian Lights, Royal Glow, and Gradient Glow as well. So I'll show you what these all look like. So the first one here is called Opal. This one I started using as soon as I filmed that first video. I got a little bit too excited. So you can see this one is the only one that isn't brand new. The second shade that I have here is called Champagne Gold. The third shade that I have here is called Blushed Copper. The fourth one I have is called Lilac Geode. The fifth shade that I own is called Prismatic Amethyst. The next shade that I have is called Champagne Pop. Can we just talk about this imprint for a second? It is so pretty with the champagne bottle and the bubbles. It is adorable. I feel like I'll never touch it. It'll be a collector's item to me. It is so, so pretty. The next shade that I have here is called Parisian Lights. The second to last shade here is called Royal Glow. And then the last one that I have here is called Gradient Glow. So you can see this is almost kind of a hybrid between a few shades. It could also be kind of like a shimmery bronzer as well. And then speaking of bronzer, I actually have two different bronzing products. The first one here is called the Shadow and Light Bronze / Contour Perfector. I'll show you what this one looks like. Here's what it looks like. As you can see, it's a split pan between a lighter and a darker bronzer. And then the other bronzer that I have is this one right here. This is the Sunlit Bronzer in the shade Bronzed Bondi. So here is what the shade Bronzed Bondi looks like. It is a really beautiful red toned golden bronzer. And then we are down to our last few items, which are both sample packets. So the first ones are the Becca Light Shifter Brightening Concealers, and the second ones are both a primer. So you've got the First Light Priming Filter and the Backlight Priming Filter as well. So I'm excited to try all of those out. So yeah guys, that is my entire Becca collection completely shown to you guys. I am so sad that the company is no longer in business, but if anything, I'm really excited to do a full face of discontinued items on the products you want to see. So let me know what they are down below in the comments. But until then, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, then you guys know what to do. Please feel free to leave me a like, comment and leave any requests that you have down below in the comments. Subscribe to my channel and hit that notification bell and drag it all the way down to all to become a part of this family and be notified of all my future videos. And I will see you guys in my next one. Bye guys. It's this really beautiful blue, not blue. Hydra Mist Satin Refresh Powder. I don't know if that's what I just said. So you've got from the top, make it drop. Cold Beach. Is it? I don't know. Okay. I just put my lipstick on it, gems. That's not gonna come off easily. This is Opal Flashes Jade. The fifth shade here is called with insert. Well, let's not drop it then. Oh my goodness, gems.